Troll Warlord pick.
Buy Kunkka,
There's the Kunkka,
buy
yeah.
Ember. Like,
Buy Ember probably.
is there not a carry hero you could have picked on 23 that would have protected you that isn't Troll? Like maybe I understand why they valued the Troll here, but
Then
could,
no
could a
stuns on the
Shadow Fiend maybe
supports.
not have done the same thing, or is it too bad of a matchup versus PL?
Yeah, I think the matchup. I think the carry doesn't have to be fantastic against the PL, but it doesn't have. It has to be a hero that can like not mind having the PL Phantom rush him.
Yeah. I think we just have to respect what Beastcoast thought here of the Troll and how highly they valued it. But I'm not sure what they're going to replace Mago's hero with here.
I think they're definitely banning Ember now, right? Now, especially that Puck's gone.
Yeah.
You can imagine Ember, and then they can go. Then they can do the Quap, and then they actually have tons of answers.
Yeah.
I mean, Quap can run into some issues, of course, versus CM and versus some of these disables, but it's one of the best answers to deal with.
But if they pick Ember, isn't there the 24 Husker that could come out?
Oh,
That's true. It's not the best versus Timber Troll, but it would
But
own the Ember.
it does play with the Chen.
Yeah, it would
plays into
absolutely
the
destroy
ball.
the Ember. They may be baiting it. You might be right. Like, they're leaving it in intentionally. Another hero that, if Laurel plays it, would be Monkey King if they go Ember. It's good against all three of those cores.
They look very confident, even with this first 2 PL.
I feel much better about their draft after this Troll into Axe.
I think so too. I think
Yeah,
not picking the Mago, Kunkka, or Ember there and protecting it later was dangerous.
They're probably one of the few teams I consistently find myself questioning why they pick Hector's hero when they pick it. Like, I think sometimes it should just be first rounded and protect it. Sometimes I think it should be the last pick, like we're talking about here. So I don't know what their idea is with it. Like, I agree with you. We're all questioning it.
We have to. I would assume that they're placing more emphasis on shutting down Collapse than they are securing the mid lane. Because if they're looking at Collapse as a primary playmaker for Team Spirit, then picking the Troll, you can guarantee most matchups to be good for him.
I see.
Like I would assume that that's what's happening here. Because yes, I would place the Collapse higher priority than Laurel, but Laurel can still play an explosive game if he has a last pick.
It's true.
I don't know, this Tusk pick also is weird. Axe likes to play versus Tusk.
Okay, no, I understand this Tusk pick because which mid hero are you going to pick that can farm consistently against anybody? It's the Tusk.
Oh.
Tusk will always have a lane with Ice Shards and Snowball. He'll always be able to farm and rotate.
But he's the only person in the world playing it right now, man.
I don't know if I like this.
What else could you pick?
Yeah, I mean,
what else is left? If you pick the Ember, you're getting Huskard, like we talked about.
This is such a weird draft on both sides.
I think the mid-Ricky owned Spirit. Spirit owned with it.
I like the mid-Ricky actually versus Sacred as well too. And it's super annoying to play versus even as a Troll and a Tusk.
I just don't know how they ever killed the Timber. What's the plan? Like, I'm not...
No, that's definitely true.
Okay, so I think that this mid-Ricky could feed off of the supports over and over again, and it'll nullify their Force Staffs, their Glimmer Capes, what have you. But this Timbersaw is probably going to have a free game, so if Sacred pops off, he could probably win the game for his team.
So is the recipe from Spirit just ignore, dodge the Timber everywhere, kill everybody else in the fights, and then deal with him?
Does late game Ricky have any kind of way to kill Timbersaw, ESJ?
Maybe if they have a Vessel on the team. I mean, they have the ability to keep him in place under the cloud, and his teammates can't save him. Timbersaw's not going to buy himself a Force Staff, might be forced to buy a BKB, but I think what Fogg was saying is I think their only choice is to ignore him for like a very long time. I'm not sure how viable that is in this patch. Timbersaw's pretty mobile, like he can just chain around the map, so...
So I think Sacred's going to have a great lane, like we talked about, because of the PL, and the Chen doesn't really help in shutting him down. They're probably going to place the Disruptor on Timber's lane, but if Hector and Stinger can actually get kills on this Axe with their like kill-heavy lane, with their CM nukes and the Troll Axes, and give Hector maybe a better start, then I can see Beastcoast taking it. But Team Spirit's draft looks okay, but where is the damage for Timber? You're right.
That's my biggest concern about this rookie pick. I'm going with Beast Coast game too.
Yeah, I think I'm liking Beast Coast a little bit more, but I think Spirit, if they can just farm, I think they'll outscale.
True.
It's gonna be a lot of more data points gathered. Collapse, uncontested Ogre in game number 1, and this is the very first Axe pick in game number 2. It seems like he's tired of being pigeonholed as like, oh, he's just the Mars player, he's just the Magnus player.
He's a trailblazer.
He's a trailblazer, he's a pioneer, and someone who I think very well acquainted with Cinderin.
That's right, I love dunking my donuts into more donuts, Cinderin. They bet on a Troll Warlord.
Oh, you're
How
a hater.
is that possible?
You're always a hater. I'm trying to remember any game we've ever cast together where you're like, I think the troll team will win. It's always...
Well, do they win? Like, honestly,
Yes.
if we could go through our casts,
Yeah.
I'm telling you, sub 20% win rate on troll. I'm not even exaggerating. It has to be that low. It always looks so bad when we cast. I don't know if it's us.
Maybe it's confirmation bias. You're just looking for flaws in everything he does.
Cinderin.
He goes 20-1. You're like, he died. It was a
he
bad
did.
troll performance.
Well, the
I
thing
don't
is,
know.
as we say every time, it's becoming a broken record. I love this hero. I just hate the ult. Like, I love playing this hero, but the ult is so kiteable. But now that you can use items,
might be different.
maybe that's enough. We'll see. We'll see. I'm excited to see the Riki. We did cast one game with a mid Riki, and Axe I have yet to see with the counter helix changes that the panel was talking about, where it's every X hits now instead of percentage based, which you could use to your advantage. And
I think this is my most played hero this patch, actually. Axe.
Okay.
So we can go a little bit more in depth with that
you have
in a
the same
second.
cosmetics.
I quickly... Do I? Oh, not the face, but the rest.
Like an old man.
So the thing that confused me a little bit in this draft, there's a couple of things. So first of all, the Tusk last pick, like the panel talked about for Dark Mago, like maybe you feel like you want to cover some bases here or there, but when you do go for that, I was just looking at Beastcoast heroes. They have Timber, Troll, and Tusk cores. There has to be heroes that have overlaps and are good against all three, or at least solid. I just don't think Riki was necessarily the best option, but it might be like a comfort thing and what heroes they've been practicing with.
You can't say that unless you have a hero.
I think Necrophos would have been awesome this game, for example, right? Like, all the lane matchups are great. He would have scaled. He would have been able to kill Timber with his teammates. The OD ban obviously was very well warranted. That would have probably been Laurel's preferred pick. I also think Benno could have been good.
Benno mid?
Yes, actually. It's not very common that is an amazing pick, but I actually think even that would have been great. We'll see. Maybe this Riki is going to look amazing, but I am very concerned with exactly what the panel talked about. Can they deal with Sacred? I think there's been games where Beastcoast have literally just won off of Sacred Timber. It's his best hero. He's very, very good at this. He's having a field day, probably. It's a first phase hero. And got, from my perspective, totally uncountered. So let's see how that goes.
Not only was that a first phase hero, but Phantom Lancer of all heroes was also first phase, and
and he definitely got counterpicked. That's the difference.
Well,
right?
yeah, of course. Like, you have to deal with the PL, but first two is very strange. What do you, as Mira might get first blooded? No, we'll just walk away. Whirling Death in top lane in the meantime. Yatoro.
Some good damage on
Trade some
Sacred
damage.
here. When Sacred hits level 3, this lane is not a kill anymore. But for now, they do have a chance of putting some pressure, especially with the Chain Lightning Harpy. Very nice creep to have here. So at least off to a good start here for Yatoro in the very early laning state.
Oh, he's going to get the courier. Nice job from Dark Mago.
Nice shards.
Indeed.
Let's talk about Axe for a moment. So this hero, one of the things that makes Axe different now is obviously the Vanguard is cheaper. You get the cheaper Ring of Health, and I think the hero has a lot more kill potential very early on in the lane stage because of Blood Grenade. See if Stinger gets away from this. Looks like they'll be a-okay.
Because of Blood Grenade.
Yeah. So what you do as Axe is you throw a Blood Grenade and you Battle Hunger, and the slow is so strong that you can keep chasing heroes for a very extended period of time and kills. That's the first thing. You go Vanguard, and then, I mean, the build-up you do is probably common. Some sort of boots into Blade, Melting Blink in some order most of the time. But the change to counter helix is really important when you play against melee cores, because now that you can reliably tell yourself when you're going to get a helix, you can play to your advantage with that in lane. You get your helix down to maybe needing 1 or 2 hits, you run into the troll and you attack him and you get creep wave aggro and you do some damage there.
Right.
And it also means that once you get the shard on this hero, which changes the cooldown to 0, if you're hitting multiple targets or somebody who hits really fast like Troll, you're going to be spinning like crazy. And obviously, against Troll, when he ults and he's super low, you're the only hero that can kill Troll through ult.
You're talking about Shard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can kill Troll through ulti as the only hero in Dota. So that is obviously a huge part of why this matchup is so Axe favored. So, a lot of things to look out for. And this time around, the CS looking way healthier for Beastcoast than the last game, so already that is good news for them.
They are on top of every other, just by a little bit.
Doing some good damage to Sacred. Really impressed with how much they've been able to pressure him
Yep,
here.
he has 2 levels of reactive now.
Yeah. If he gets to full health, this is probably a done deal. Then he's gonna. And one of the luxuries and what you see a lot of teams do right now is they play offlaners that buy Vanguard. And one of the really powerful things about that is you can take your position 4 and just send it through the gate and kill bot, right? And Timbersaw inherently has the advantage this game that he doesn't even need to buy Vanguard because it's such a good Timber game. So he's actually able to be left alone now at minute 4. And if Stinger sees any opportunity to TP mid or to gate bottom, there are kills aplenty in both lanes that are available to him. Sacred's still not up to full health though. Maybe I'm underestimating how much pressure they can put in. This damn Chain Lightning Harpy is destroying him. Actually,
It's out of.
maybe it's not as easy as I would have thought.
Let's see. We're getting his levels. We're getting his CS.
I think Maiden should frostbite and kill the Harpy if possible. Like that's just you need
Sure that they would want to do that.
Yeah,
But
he's playing it at max range.
Glimpse back. Day 1. Gonna aggress onto Mira, and that is gonna be first blood finally. This one goes to Troll. If Collapse can get this kill though, that is also quite big.
Punched him in the back.
He is approaching his, I assume, Vanguard. Yeah, has the Ring of Health, and Vanguard is equipped. So a sub 5, I know it's been nerfed in both price, well I guess that's a buff, the price is not good, but it is a little bit worse than before. Still, sub 5 minutes. Sacred getting chased.
Lightning Harpy.
Taro wants to keep going. That's the blood grenade as well. Sacred getting extremely low. Taro getting blocked by his own illusion a bit there. Sacred able to walk away.
I guess Stinger actually can't leave him alone specifically because of the Chain Lightning Harpy. It's I don't know how big a percentage of the damage Stinger is taking this lane has been from that, but
Nice telekinesis back to the tier 1 collapse. Quite a bit of damage though. That
Vanguard
level
too
2
strong.
Helix. But now he's quite low, so has to be careful.
damn. Can we just talk about how much Dark Mago has been destroying Laurel mid? And keep in mind, this was the last pick of Spirit, right? He's 19-3 against 31 for 7. Tusk obviously great against melee heroes, so will be likely to get an advantage, but has been doing very convincingly here. Nice ward will prevent this gank from being a success. So Tusk will head back to mid. And
Sacred,
on the
he
way.
came to the lane with full HP, but he's already getting bursted. Another blood grenade there. And Sacred finally uses the Whirling Death, but it looks like he's just going to get ticked out here. So nice kill.
Dude, I
Poshka
actually
gets that one.
I'm so surprised how much they bully him. I know Chen is strong, but this is surprising. I wonder if he needs to change his item build up. He's not looking at Vanguard. He's looking at double Bracer Soul Ring, which is his standard, but I think he's surprised too. And the thing about this is obviously a big part of how Beastcoast tailored their game plan was around this Timbersaw having a good start, but they don't get that.
Oh, the glimpse into the call. Beautifully done. Schofield getting really low. He goes down to Mira's right click, but now Collapse stuck inside the shards from Dark Mago, who's made his transition over. They end up netting themselves a big kill into Collapse. 1K lead here for Team Spirit early on. Sacred has come back to lane, and well, they're still beating the crap out of him apparently. He seems quite squishy, all things considered. He's gonna get chased onto the tower, but will live.
Okay. I'm learning something.
Yeah, it's
I
quite a bit of damage.
don't know. This is
I mean, what did they change with Penitence? Anything?
they nerfed it this patch.
Oh. K1, okay, gets glimpsed back into the kinetic field and smoke screen. Gets called. And not quite level 6 is collapsed, but they should be able to finish him off nonetheless, and they do. As Laurel makes his rotation. And remember, with that ult change for the Riki, you'll be getting more XP for every, I was gonna say every gold, but every kill or assist
Yep.
that you take part in. See how much that is able to snowball him.
Nice dodge there from Spirit. Again, just good information gathering. They avoid getting ganked by Mago.
He just got 4 bounty runes.
He got 2. He bottled them.
3 bounty runes.
It's 2.
2 bounty runes. Dark Mago. Smoke screen. Quite a bit of damage. Stuff to
Wait,
snowball.
we don't have any
And
team
the Walrus
damage.
punch. Maposhka continue to right click with Dark Mago. Very fast indeed.
Did pop the region though, so doesn't get full value out of that. But yeah, this top move not successful. He does find the 2 bounty runes, like you said, which is decent, but just would love to go there. At the very least, it alleviated some pressure. So now Sacred is level 5. Chooses not to go 3 in reactive though. He actually went 1-2-2.
Glimpse.
Yeah,
To the Centaur Stomp, and Stinger's just done so. Sacred, okay, he's level 5 now. Is he going to survive?
Yeah.
Inside the kinetic field. As the 2 in Timber Chain, the 1-2-2 build. And considering that they got off to such a good start in this lane for Team Spirit, like, be out of this lane, right? That's at least what you were anticipating, that they'd have to leave Timber to his own devices to some degree. But they've kind of delayed that normal occurrence.
Yeah, because usually at this point in time, PL has to jungle, because the Terrorblade is destroying him with level 6 and mana boots, but they've slowed him down so much that Yatoro is still able to play the lane. Despite that, Troll is still top net worth. Like, PL has had an outstanding time because the expectation of how this lane would go has definitely been exceeded as far as I'm concerned. But the Troll has been having a wonderful lane as well, so as much as we've been highlighting that one, that top lane, K1, still looking very hot as well. 51 and 13.
So let's look at the potential item upgrades, what people are going to be going for. So Troll, Battle Fury, no big surprise. The PL, Diffusal, again, no big surprise. I mean, this is a very good Diffusal, Manta. I assume Heart after that. As Sacred, not a whole lot of mana to speak of. Dark Mago makes his transition over
really
though.
good
Snowball
shard.
hits only onto 1, but they'll clean up Mira very easily. Yataro continuing to get chased, but they're going to turn their sights onto Maposhka instead. If the PL TP's out successfully, that's 2 supports dead in favor of Beastcoast. But of all heroes, Laurel comes in, ends up taking out Stinger himself.
That's still really good timing from the Tusk, and the Snowball and Shard combo there, perfect place. I guess maybe with a slightly better execution, it could have also got the PL, but still solid. So is Courier as well for a little bit of bonus. Finding another bounty. This is the Radiant Bounty Central, the top half. Straight back to mid.
Snowball going to be avoided. Wow, that's so much burst damage. You have another pause as they strategize how to kill Yatoro inside of these shards.
K1's having some problem.
Yep.
So playing the drums with his hand gesture there. I don't know what went.
Probably why he broke his mouse.
Oh. And he broke his mouse, and that caused spikes, is what you were saying.
So for Troll, I want to talk a little bit about being able to use items during the ult. Obviously, be a big one. Is there any other item that you think is important? Satanic for Dispel, and obviously lifesteal aspect.
Can you blink?
Ooh, that's a good. Ooh, that's really good.
You kill one target, and then you can just blink to another one.
That would.
I guess you have to be facing the same way because your hero can't turn, right? But maybe you can technically blink. You can use Abyssal during ult, which I think is really good. Nullifier, if they Ghost Scepter. That's a lot of value, actually. I mean, in the past, you would maybe have Ags, and then you would use that for the Dispel. Offensively with the ranged axes.
Yeah, if anything, this change actually nerfs Ags. Yeah, I need. Because if you really need the Dispel,
yeah, you could get Nullifier now.
well, either Dispel, right? Because you can just use BKB or Satanic now for yourself.
Hey, what is happening?
Interesting to see if his build will change at all after the battlefield. We'll see.
Axe has no time for all this jibber jabber.
Yeah. There might be yet another item, actually. Are there any neutral items you can use?
The walrus one, the seal totem. Walrus seal totem.
Force boots.
You love those tier 5 neutrals.
You can whip.
Yep, true.
Use the horsey, but you're not going to be carrying on Troll.
Well, if you can use it during ult, why not?
Eh.
He needs mana very badly. Toro, tag team is rushing him. Pops the wand and gonna live. Arcane Rune top. Dark Mago will be able to get that.
Feels good rune on this hero. Get to take a fight and have your spell volley twice.
Laurel, he's the one that comes top to get some of the farm now that PL's not occupying this area anymore. I mean, is this a hero that so you just need like the first item and then you start kind of ganking, or do you want him to be ganking already? Because he is playing mid.
On the Ricky.
Yeah.
I mean, he's already been involved a bit. He's got 2 kills. But I do think you definitely need to try to get an okay timing on defusal. I think if you move too much and you delay your defusal, that's going to come back to bite you, because that is the item.
Oh, it's been so long.
Big stack here for Collapse.
Juicy one here.
So now spins every 4 attacks with a cooldown of
Insane.
on a 0.3.
So good.
And with the shard, that cooldown is removed. So if you were to call, let's say, Troll plus... It's particularly good against illusion carries, whose illusions don't die in one spin.
Oh yeah, that's true. Mira, he's gonna get spotted out, punched into the air and brought down swiftly, but be collateral for Schofield. Maybe not. Potentially. So the trade is just enough, but now Laurel has to be careful. He's dead. Double kill for K1. Yataro getting chased. He's inside the shards. He's just gonna get frostbit and brought down as well. So a 3-for-1, and now Collapse looks to be next. He's a much tankier target, of course, but nothing to TP out. Looks like he will be fine.
How big of a chance was there of him dying there? 16%. Troll got in 1 attack.
Let it go off more than one, but
Oh, that's just that was actually pretty fortunate that Laurel got that.
yeah, that was a 1 out of 4 or 5 or whatever.
In hindsight, should be happy getting that kill, but obviously a very bad trade-off in total for Team Spirit. As up to live,
Die worse. You fought
Sacred
badly.
just got killed off by Collapse with the Blink Dagger.
Oh, my goodness.
And this is a bit deceptive because you think of Timber as this tanky here, but also keep in mind the Axe counter helix is pure damage. So if Timber is next to a wave, you can actually do some pretty substantial damage with this hero. And we'll be eyeing up the Blade Mill next for some added value. If there's a Chakram when you blink in or whatever, all of that will do that final touch.
So after the Blade Mail, are you expecting Crimson Shard, something like that? You need BKB this game.
I mean, BKB on this hero is really good. But it is an outstanding Crimson game, right? Like, that item is just so good against Troll.
Even if it's not that good, I feel like you just get it anyway.
Yeah, I mean,
It's the item of
it's
the
just
pad.
especially against Troll and Tag Team, you just want to have this block. So I think you should probably get the Crimson after this Blade Mail and then consider his options once again. And yeah, maybe you buy the Shard. I don't know. This is the biggest mystery about this hero for me right now, is when is Shard worth buying? Because it is good, but it's just some matchups where it's way better than others, and you could maybe get it from the Tormentor for free. And
Hand out here, so Spirit trying to bait. Now that they show themselves.
nice horsey from Collapse in mid, dodges the Ice Shards.
Laurel now showing himself, and Skillfield's just gonna...
Field running around with my favorite neutral item.
Oh yeah.
Tier 1 token.
Tier 1 token's really good. It could be anything.
Yeah, it's
the
whatever
beauty
you
of it.
dream of.
Double
What's the
damage.
point?
I don't
They
know.
just forget?
Probably. He'll realize soon enough. This is
Moving
the
on.
second or third time this tournament I've seen it, that a player's just running around with a Tier 1.
Well, Dark Mago has made his way over. Not gonna be able to block anybody in, but you would expect that this will turn into a Tier 1 tower push for Beastcoast. Spirit probably resigned just to allow Collapse to get his next item, and that's when he can start running around.
Yeah, Blade Mail's almost complete, just 200 to go. That's incorrect, 400 to go.
Yep, you almost got it.
That's close enough.
Laura
And
also...
queued up Shard into BKB. So exactly what we expected, but...
Wait, is Crimson?
Oh, it's
No?
actually true, not Crimson. Yeah, it was either going to be Shard BKB or Crimson BKB without Shard. So one or the other.
I don't know.
I mean, I still think the Crimson looks pretty decent, but I'm not mad at this idea.
Well, now that goes up with strength. He just wants the heart first. Then he'll get
the late
values.
game Crimson, yes.
Yes.
My favorite.
Very smart.
I too love myself a little cheeky Friday griefing.
Laurel has his defusal on the way. Going to be obviously a very important pickup for any Ricky. Do you think so? I guess support Ricky's just dead then, right? Without the dart?
It's a lot worse. I'm not going to call it
Not
dead.
supposed to be a support hero, Cinder, and smokescreen onto the Tusk.
Yeah.
Just walks it off.
His damage was not impressive.
Yep, tricks of the trade, blink strike to safety. They dust, but no avail. Laurel. Next item looks like it's going to be the shard. We'll talk about that a bit more. Static Storm, a beautiful glimpse into that. That is a dead Timbersaw. Very important kill for Team Spirit. Now they're going to turn this around. Dark will go. Let's get off his snowball and then blinks out to safety. Surprisingly, he did not get hit by the tricks of the trade to cancel that. Stinger's getting pursued. Nice call from Collapse. Gets the one. Looking for more dunks. Double kill for him. More stacks aplenty. And K1 is going to pop his BKB. He wants to fight. He actually uses the battle trance as well. And Collapse is trying to kite him, but he's going to get netted up. Gets off the call just to be able to stay alive a little bit longer, but K1 does find the kill. And the buyback from Dark Mago wants to try to finish off this fight in style as Laurel, pretty damn low, picks up the haste, so should be okay as a result. Mirror, on the other hand, not the fastest hero. It's nighttime though. Inside that kinetic field, he should be brought down. So they find something.
That was a
Collapse, obviously a big kill, but that required a buyback.
That was a great disengage from Spirit. They only lost their Disruptor on the way out there. That could have easily been a PL plus him. It could have been a Ricky, but he found the haste. The PL got away with like 15% health. Yatoro had to get the hell out of there and did find an escape path, but that was spooky. Tusk buyback could have paid off big time, but...
So I have a question for you. Obviously the panel and you thought that Timbersaw was going to have a free game. He's had a good game. You have, I mean, could have been better, obviously. You have, I don't know if it was as mentioned, you have 2 defusal carriers on Spirit.
That's true.
Is that a big deal against Timber?
Later on, yes, because you can drain his mana and just leave him alone. If your lineup can't kill him, you can at least make him useless. You just burn all his mana and just like lol and go kill the other heroes.
Right. But that's when you buy Ags, right?
Yeah.
You just leave him alone.
Well, that costs 200 mana to activate.
So you cast it first.
Yeah, cast it and then go in.
Cast it before your mana.
Yeah, it's definitely something to keep in mind. I still think Sacred can find meaningful impact until that point, and he also has Soul Ring +1, so even if he gets drained entirely, he can at least get 1 spell volley off in the middle of the fight, which can make a big difference if done well. But yeah, at this point in time, when this game started out and I looked at the draft, I would have thought Timber would be top 2 net worth, right? Or at least top 3. Like maybe he's behind the 2 carries, but he would be well above the others, and he's not, right? Like he's tied with the Tusk. So in that regard, things definitely went better for Spirit than I expected. They're still kind of struggling to take convincing fights, and I think Yatoro needs to get bigger for that. He's currently 5th, which is quite a rare sight, really, for Spirit to have him. Now he just bounced up to 3rd because they're all so close. But the gap, look at the Troll being ahead 4,000 over the PL.
Yeah.
Is pretty ridiculous. And the fact that the gold is even is just a testament to how fat the supports are on Spirit. The Chen sitting on 7k net worth.
Well, every time you take over a creep, you get the bounty now for somebody.
True. Yep.
Kind of insane. Mini Midas. But yeah, very even game. But when you look at the net worth and just the lead that K1 has, that could spell doom for Spirit. They don't have the answers. But it is a troll that you can kite. Like, you can do that. Sometimes troll is the most frustrating hero to play, especially when you're playing against people that are good at the game.
Yeah, they have some decent tools. They have Glimpse when he's out of BKB. They have Smokescreen. They have Axe Call, which is always going to be a problem.
Can always itemize.
Yeah. Of course, Halberd is a possibility for the Axe, maybe at some point. Yules are great. Get that on supports, but not the best Yules supports in the world. Disruptor and Chen. Oh. K1. When K1 gets a map to play, he is just he's one of the best.
So
at
Yules
farming,
actually
if
might
not
be
the best.
Yules might be technically in some situations better against Troll than it was before, because before you kind of had to BKB into battle trance. Now if you want a battle trance, you can BKB later, but if you get Yules, then you're screwed, right? So
yeah,
kind of a weird dichotomy. Taro, a lot of damage from the Chakra. Fable to follow, just gonna get right-clicked down by K1.
He was holding his doppelganger the whole time. I think he had it, but
he did.
He wanted to use it at the right time, and then he got flanked by a frostbite he just flat out wasn't expecting there. So nice angle that they find here Beastcoast, and this is going to be 2-1 tower, and maybe Roche. I mean, the Dire lineup doesn't seem that dangerous to 5v5 into if you have all your stuff and you're well positioned in a vision. I don't know if they can really think about it.
Tier 2 tower taken out. Laurel doing some damage to Tusk, and here comes Collapse with the big call with Blade Mail and the choppity chop.
Almost didn't get him. This Ricky damage is quite pitiful right now, to be honest. I mean, he is pretty poor, so this kill helps him out a little bit.
Glimpse back. Schofield inside the kinetic field and Collapse. Another call and another chop.
Get that armor.
He has
5 stacks.
5 stacks right now, and he does have the shard already.
Yep, and you can get the level 20 talent for extra armor as well.
Stinger. It's gone on by Laurel. On the other side of the tree line, tricks of the trade, smoke screen, and one more attack.
Wow, that just snowballed the crap out of one kill to the next to tier 2 tower.
Indeed.
Right.
I
That's
wonder,
how it's done.
Yeah, I mean, the closest comparison I can think of with a hero like this is Bounty Hunter that you snowball. That's only with one hero, where you're getting extra XP, right? So it's not like it's shared, but to some degree. They might be, actually, wait, K1 went Ags. Okay. Very cool. So Ags, one of the coolest items on Troll. Dispel everything. Melee axes will dispel yourself.
Why is that
Range
good
axes will dispel the enemies of buffs, and it lowers the cooldown dramatically.
Am I missing something? Why is this good here?
It's against PL, theoretically. It's
Just because you can remove the diffusal.
well, not just no. You constant mischance on all the illusions.
Oh, you just mean the cooldown reduction?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
The dispel, yeah.
Is that
really?
I'm just looking at the dispels, right? Because it's like, yeah, the cooldown reduction is definitely very good against, but maybe that's just enough to justify it. Like that's all you need, because the dispels are just not good this game, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna remove penitence.
So I got wrecked again.
Yeah, I don't know, but yeah, you're right. He just wants a little cooldown on the axis against PL.
Interesting though, prioritizing this early.
Yeah.
This is normally like something like we've
This
seen
is
like the
something you
magic
get from
dance
Rogue.
build trolls before, but this is an early pickup for a more physical. How it works, huh?
Definitely a well worth it against in that core versus core matchup. So it's very good against one hero, not so good against the rest. Does that justify it? We'll see. And now he's going to go for Abyssal Blade. Gets the Vanguard first.
Laurel has his shard, by the way, so let's quickly talk about that. That's the smoke screen upgrade, where any targets underneath will be given minus armor, but in addition to that, as the Tormentor is going to be taken out, Spirit. Let's see who gets the shard. Disruptor. Okay,
the
that's
long range one.
long range and extra 2 strikes, and you can put it on the ground, which is kind of whatever.
Yeah, the Ricky shard, -6 armor to the targets inside smoke screen, and you cannot be targeted by any allied abilities that are single target. You can still get healed by Chen, for example, with Mech and Hand of God, but they can't force step you. Can't glimmer you.
Well, Chen's on his team.
Yeah, this is an example, but you're right.
But you're correct. Chen cannot heal,
Yes,
as far as I know.
you're my best friend. You always make me look so good. I would have done the exact thing for you, just so you know.
Well, if you wanted to use an example, you could have just said Arcane Aura. Still,
True.
I'm just think about what you guys say.
I get
Full of
you can snowball through the smoke screen and pick people up.
Yeah, that's
I think.
fair.
So they do technically have a save.
Yeah,
but it's a bit of a stretch.
That's really hard. Yeah,
and Rubik can't telekinesis him out. That's the one. the Rubik Shard wouldn't be able to save people in the smoke screen.
Right, so theoretically, this is good against non-supports because they're not going to have force steps, right?
Yes.
The Rubik just picked up one, so...
Rubik can save himself.
Exactly.
But if Ricky smoke screens the Troll and you would want to lift him out with this Rubik, or if he smoke screens the Tusk in particular.
That's the other thing. Yeah, Tusk does not have BKB yet,
Close.
so there's a timing here. Troll already has BKB, so it might not affect him theoretically.
So I guess all in all, the main hero it's good against here is the Timber.
Yes.
Because he will not buy Force Staff, and he will not buy BKB until later. So eyeing up the Ags right now.
All right.
Which
Let's try.
I feel like this item is really good in the right situation, but I don't know how good it is when you buy it this late. Like, anecdotally, I played against it one game, and it was a Timber who rushed it, got it like minute 12, and then it was insane, because we had a lineup with 4 melee heroes, and he would just pop it, run into us 12 minutes in, 1,000 damage magic nuke is pretty insane. But this late in the game, the heroes have more items to dodge it, they're tankier, and it hasn't really scaled much, so I'm not sure how good it is here. I think something like Shiva's would possibly just be flat out better. Having the healing reduction against Chen, having the AoE slow against the PL, and keeping Ricky in place, being tankier yourself. There's a lot of benefits to an item like that here. It's really cool to be killed and grabbed by K1, so it was just a matter of time. Seemed like they wanted to wait until it was nighttime. They're just more comfortable fighting in the top half of the map. Makes sense with the control they had. The lane push.
The Laurel forced to go for a Manta style just because of the nets from Troll Warlord.
What a weird movement. Look at it. Top one by far is the Troll.
By 5k.
It's quite a drop-off till his next ally.
Yeah, that's quite fair. I mean, K1 might be able to 1v5 this. We'll see how strong Troll is in this patch. As you can see, Yatoro pushing the bottom lane, so we'll see if this forces anybody back from Beastcoast. They have the siege there as well, so they can't just ignore this. Yeah, Stinger's gonna have to go, which means the rest of Beastcoast will have to hightail away from that top lane. Every time I see this cosmetic on Ricky, I think he's empowered. I have to double check if there's a magnet. Really strange. Tricks of the trade. Okay, smoke screen on the Troll, but Laurel's the one that has to be careful. That is a very fat Troll Warlord.
I wonder if this nullifier pickup on Ricky is how valuable that is when you have the shard. This is the next item he's eyeing up, but considering the shard already prevents allied units on the allied abilities on the target, what are you getting nullifier for?
Well, then you can just...
Then you can jump and kill Rubik.
Yeah, Rubik
for example.
can die.
If that's your primary job is to assassinate Rubik and Maiden, I get it. But in that case, how good was the shard?
Yeah.
It's kind of...
It's cheap.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it's...
But no, that's...
It still has its uses in other situations. It gives you more options. I suppose that's one way of looking at it.
All right, K1. They're going to respond to this. A glimpse doesn't do too much. Pop fort. I'm just going to wait it out.
And go again.
Absolutely. What can they do against this Troll? Smoke screen's going to be a bit annoying, I guess. You can just go ranged. He keeps going back into melee form. All right, there you go. There's the collapse initiation, but the snowball save, beautifully done. They're going to go into collapse, though. Spamming those whirling axes. Troll already at half HP, has to be careful. Pops the BKB and the battle trance. Actually, it still has the battle trance, sorry, but Crimson Guard doing a lot of damage mitigation as K1 getting saved again via the snowball. Do they have enough to finally finish him off? They do, but that's just the Aegis. Dark Mongo, his BKB is already expended. Has to be careful. They have the Troll Warlord in their sights inside this kinetic field. All these illusions just decimating him. Collapse with another beautiful initiation, and the raid boss has died. 70 seconds of no Troll. 2 dead now for Beastcoast as the rest look to fall. Schofield just standing in place. Okay, he's dead. Very good. 3 dead in favor of Spirit, and they hold beautifully.
That was a game-winning fight, just straight up. You were 3k ahead, now you're 8k up. You killed Aegis, you killed Troll again, and the key thing that happens there is the Troll is hitting, and they get this nice axe call and force the fight into their base. In the meantime, Laurel killed the Rubik in the back line.
Okay. No ball for the time being, and able to blink out. Can you? Fine.
Yeah, you kind of understand from Beastcoast perspective. Oh,
that's okay. That was a glimpse on the CM.
I thought for a second that was on the stuff.
Damn.
But you can understand from Beastcoast perspective why they felt a bit forced to go high ground with this Aegis. If they don't use it for anything, maybe they feel like the scaling wars is being lost. But yeah, that hold was just flawless. They lost nothing. They forced a buyback on the Rubik, they kill him twice, they kill Troll twice. Made plus the whole shebang.
Yeah, that is a fight that I think regardless of the outcome here, Beastcoast will be watching on replay again later to figure out what the hell happened. I mean, he's still way top net worth, but nobody is even remotely close on his team. Here's the initiation, but a counter initiation now from Collapse. He pops that blade now, so the BKB doing work for K1. Gets the bash off as well, but now he has to turn his sights onto something. He's inside that smoke, so he has to be careful. Has the battle chance, will have to use it now, but he just gets chopped down. That's the big counter that you talked about pre-game. The dead Troll Warlord for a full minute, and now they're turning their sights onto the Timber. Choppity chop, double kill for Collapse, and that suddenly the game might just end. Yeah. This is insane how fast of a turnaround this was.
They just gained.
They were just on the joining to go high ground like 2 minutes ago.
They gained 12k net worth in 2 minutes, literally. That's a good 6k GPM. That's pretty nice.
Oh, okay. He misses the call this time.
It's just notice how little damage the Troll is dealing to Axe. He blink calls him, pops the Crimson guard, and he takes 0. Because the Crimson is blocking like around 100 something, and on top of that, Axe has 26 armor, and it's only going to be more. Actually, he took the Calling Blade damage talent, so I thought maybe he was going to take even more armor with the stacking talent for a bonus 8, but no, he's just going to get more damage on the ults. It gives him more freedom to kill anyone, but obviously the Troll is the primary target. And this counter pick has just worked wonderfully for them. It's really in the name of the game. Axe has proven to be very valuable, and this would be the second game in a row that Spirit pick a hero for the first time this tournament out of any team, and would win both. That's some peak creativity right there.
Yeah, for sure.
Very nice.
That's the beauty of these new patches. You pick something that looks crazy, and then people realize, hey, maybe it's good. I mean, we saw Ogre last game, so
The most impressive thing is identifying it, right? Because it's very easy to fall into a mindset of, okay, there's this subset of like 5 to 10 heroes in most positions that all the teams play, that you definitely have an eye on and you practice too. But it's identifying that this is the game for Ogre. This is the game for Axe. That's the most impressive.
Laura looking for Stinger. It has the double damage. Tree line blocking him. Rubik is dead.
And he killed Maiden.
That was two-shot from the Trick because of the Aghanim Scepter. Disgusting display from Team Spirit. Dark Mago, his BKB won't help. And now Team Spirit right on the doorstep. Try to get a second set of racks. And maybe even GG here. Collapse with the initiation, but there's the buyback onto Dark Mago. Second of the game. He is not doing any damage. That is absolutely correct. He needed a root collapse and finally caught the BKB. Laurel jumps in, he gets punched in the air. They do some damage to him. Can't catch up now. Oh, there's the Timber Saw with the big bad reactive armor. 4 seconds away. Uses the totem steel, horse totem, whatever the hell it's called. Does okay. That did some damage to Laura, but it's not enough to actually get the kill. Now he's inside that static storm, and Team Spirit looking for a reinitiation as the kiting continues onto Troll Warlord. Confirmation buys my ass, Cinderin. Gets the Bloodthorn. Laura with the tricks of the trade finishes off the Rubik easily. Big call onto the Troll Warlord K1. Pops the BKB. He's gonna get chopped in a second here. Pops his ult and chops. I mean, this is it is absolutely over. GGs are called. Team Spirit 2-0. And first game, Panel and yourself thought the draft looked great, and they won handily. This game, everybody thought Beastcoast had it.
Yeah,
they actually started out pretty well.
For me, the key thing that went very different from what I expected this game was Timbersaw's game. And I'm sure they'll come back to that as well, because we thought he was going to pop off. We thought he was going to carry it. Timbersaw felt like an asterisk on this game. It was the Axe show, it was the Troll show, and ultimately, if that's the show you're playing, I know